Chip. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of The Gift of Giving. My name is Stephen Murray, and I'm the host of this program. And although this program features Nevada organizations, 501c3s, and nonprofits, if you're tuned in from out of state, I hope you will listen, as our guests might have some ideas, some initiatives, and some programs that you can implement in your own philanthropic communities back at home in wherever state you live, or whichever country for that matter. So this week, I'd like to welcome to the program Angelique Daniels. She's the founder. Can you give us a little bit of history, when it was founded, how long you've been around, and talk a little bit about the background of it?
Absolutely. It was founded in April of 2020, and it was created because we had a kidney transplant. My husband received my kidney in August of 2019. That is extremely rare for a husband and wife to be a match. And it was even more divine because I'm a O negative and he's O positive, and an O can only take an O. Oh. And no pun intended, right? No.
Got it.
And just really thinking about that blessing of everything that we went through and how well he was doing, I just thought we need to do something with this. Mm-hmm. And I've always known that you're supposed to take your gift. Like, everyone has a gift, right? God didn't skip anyone. You're supposed to take this gift and you're supposed to master it, get the best that you can. And then the most important piece is you're supposed to find a way to serve. Yeah. So I've always liked art. I've always done art. I've had my for-profit business for over 10 years. And so I was like, what can I do in terms of service that makes sense? Where's my heart connection? Mm-hmm. And so that's how Paint for Kidneys was birthed.
Started. Good.
Yeah.
Good. And so, Will, you were the recipient and in many ways, the initiative for Paint for Kidneys being started. Yeah. So you've got to be a very special husband for your wife to want to give up a kidney, and you've got to be a very special lady for actually doing it. Would you like to give us share with our viewers some of the thought process and the emotional things that you went through, once you discovered that you had to have the kidney transplant? If it's not too painful for you.
Well, once I was diagnosed with having an issue with my kidneys and started dialysis, obviously when I first said, okay, you have to go to dialysis, it was tough. Never had any issues. Never really had any major complications of anything. So for me, it was just kind of like, wow, and my lifestyle had to change a little bit. And trying to work and going to dialysis, it was a toll. And anybody that goes through anything like that, obviously, it's a challenge. You may go through some moments of worry, like, okay, it's just tough. Mm-hmm. But I obviously had my wife with me. And so, those days when it was a little difficult, she encouraged me to, like, let's keep doing this. And so when it came to the point to where, they said, okay, look, you're listed to receive a kidney. And there's so many people are out there that are looking for a kidney, and it's just incredible. My wife said, well, no, I'm getting tested. And I said, no, Angelique, it's okay. It's a tough thing to ask anybody to get tested, and for you, and it's humbling. And, and so when that call goes out, it's tough, especially a family member. So when she was able, she did get tested and eventually said, okay, fine. And my doctor just kind of came to me and said, hey, look, he said, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. You have somebody here that is close to you, and it's incredible that she's actually your spouse and you guys are a match. And so that proceeded for me to get my transplant. And it is a roller coaster. It is. You have good days and bad days. But like I said, again, you need somebody in your corner. And I was blessed to have her in my life.
Yes.
So mostly and physically. So, yes.
And have you found that this has bonded you closer together?
Do I start I feel her like 20.
In the beginning, it was kind of weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, every day, you're with someone, and then when you go out, you're still with someone. It's still a part of you. So yeah,
yes,
it's a different kind of bond now. So,
and do you feel that
I would like
the
to
same
say,
different kind of bond, or
just from like his explanation, how he explains things, you can see what a humble, kind man Will is. So it wasn't a hard decision. Like, we've been married since, what year? Like 20-something years. Yeah.
Oh
98. We've known each other since 93.
Yeah.
And Will is like the kindest person that I know. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's he's the kindest person I know. Never heard him say a swear word in all those years.
Oh, nice.
When he doesn't drink. And so for me, not just because of those things, but just the fact, like, he didn't want me to do it. He's like, why? He said to me, why should we have that advantage? Why should I have that advantage? There's so many people waiting. There's over 100,000 people as of August of 2024 waiting on some kind of life-saving transplant. And he thinks, why should I? Who thinks like that? Like, and I said, he's from Oklahoma. He knows the Bible way better than I. And I said, I believe it's called favor. Like, we've been favored, so let's not miss this opportunity. No. So
you made it happen.
Yeah. So it wasn't a tough decision for me, but I witnessed it for a man. You don't want to take your wife's.
No.
And I thought it was a blessing that, I'm, with the O and the O thing, when I heard that it was very rare. I always knew my blood type, because in college they would always call me to donate blood, not to get paid for it either, just because it was so rare.
Yes. So
it was good that I knew from the very beginning that I was able to do it, because I knew O was a universal donor.
There you go. So let's talk a little bit about your Paint for Kidneys. Now, the nonprofit, you raise money for primarily for the Nevada Donor Network, and the Paint for Kidneys parties that you have. Do you actually supply the paints and the pictures or the art things that people, or do they just draw by themselves? Do you teach them? Give us a little bit of background about how the parties themselves work.
Okay, so I volunteer with Nevada Donor Network, and I do special events where I donate money to them every so often, not really on a scheduled time frame. Trying to narrow that down to just maybe once a year, where half the money goes to Nevada Donor Network and then half goes to Paint for Kidneys. Paint for Kidneys is a nonprofit that supports the art center that I just opened, where we provide free paint sessions, and we're also a resource center for organ transplant and donation. So when you walk in there's a section that has a lot of information about where you can find support, whether it's you can't afford to be on dialysis, or you need some kind of financial help, or you want to learn more about being an organ donor. Right when you walk in, you'll see a whole section with all that information. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find it for you. Okay. So that's the main point of the art center. The painting sessions, I do what I've been doing for the last 10 years, where it's guided instruction, more commonly known as paint and sip, right? Where the ladies are painting and sipping the wine, but I leave that sip part out. You can't have a paint party without the sip. I do paint and sip as well. And I do coffee and paint and praise and paint. And I can do anything, organize a theme around the painting experience.
Yes, we're going to talk about some of those in the next segment.
Okay, and so what's great about, I think, what's great about my paint section, it's not only me and my vibrant personality, but most of the time they're pre-traced. I pre-trace all the canvases to take the stress out of it, and that you can enjoy the healing power of art. It's to introduce people to the joy and the healing power of art, because it's helped me so much through some of the most challenging times. It was hard during the transplant. I had 2 teenagers. Was a manager at the Olive Garden for 30 years. I was still employed. 2 dogs, a house. I mean, it's a lot.
Yes, it sounds like a full life. So it's nice that you got this actual program. We're going to stop and take a little sponsorship break, and we're going to be right back. And please stay and listen to this message. Welcome back, Angelica and Will. Thank you for being with us today. And we finished out the last segment talking about this new resource center that you've just opened, and you have paint sessions there as well as resources available. Would you like to tell us whereabouts this resource center is?
Yes, it is at 8140 Southeastern, suite number 4, and the zip is 89123. It's Las Vegas. It's at the corner of Windmill and Eastern in the Big Lot Center.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah, so I'm super excited about it. I've had a couple spaces before, but this one is a nice spot with a well-lit parking lot, and everybody pretty much knows that corner when I mention it to them.
Great, great. Now, we were talking about your paint parties, and you said you draw the sketches. When people attend your paint parties, are they all given the same sketch, or can they look at the sampling of sketches and say, I want to paint that one, I want to do that one?
That's a great question. When you walk into the center, there's 106 paintings on the wall.
Oh my.
106 paintings to choose from, and they all have numbers on them. So you can choose the number, and then I print out a tracer, and you trace it on the canvas, and you can have a quiet little session yourself. You can plan a party. But the unique part about the art center is that it's a free place to paint. So the donations to Paint for Kidneys support those free sessions. It's a 4x4 canvas, so it's a small canvas, but we give you the paint, the brushes, the canvas, and you can come in and paint for 1 hour, 1 day a week, and just have your own little private session. You can bring a group of friends and you can all paint on the small ones. And after that 1 hour, then it's $10 an hour. But what I really wanted to do was introduce a place that was a free place to paint, because sometimes, like when I was going through, whatever it was I was going through, sometimes you feel a little claustrophobic and you just want a new creative space. And there was just like nowhere to go. And I went to like Paintings with a Twist or, my competitors. Mm-hmm. And, one day I believe I paid about $70 just to have a different change of an atmosphere, just to shift in energy, just to paint. And everything I painted with, I had at home. And I thought, boy, that was a lot of money. I want to create a space where people can come and enjoy it, like without spending a ton of money.
Sure. No, I get it. And to what extent are you involved in? Do you stay more in the background in support, or?
I am more in the background.
Yes.
She's the artist, and so, but like that. But there's times where I've gone up there and sit there. We're together, obviously, because we're husband and wife. So, but the art center is specifically for people who, like I said again, who needs a little time just to get away, enjoy themselves, needs a little time to do something different, creative, and so therefore I'm in the background because I know when I needed it. And so I'm sure there's other people out there who need it as well too. So
sure,
that's kind of the giving back part.
Got it.
And he's a good marketer too. You're good marketing. He's my marketing person.
Yeah. Now, so now is this open Monday through Friday, 8 through 5, or
Wednesday through Sunday? This is a really good question. Mm-hmm. Wednesday through Sunday, 12 to 8 by appointment. So you have to make a reservation. I don't know if you want me to give my information out, but right now, but you have to text the word paint to a phone number, or you can call an 800 number to schedule a reservation. Because unfortunately, these days, you can't really have businesses where the door is open like all the time, and where I would feel safe. But it is me. Mostly, you do get me, and maybe sometimes will if you're really lucky.
Well, I'm I'm glad you said these questions are good questions. I hope they're all good questions.
Yes, they are. They are. They absolutely are.
Now you have you also have coffee and paint parties at the Silver Springs Recreation Center.
Yes.
So could you talk a little bit about the coffee and paint parties there and how often do you have them?
So those are once a month, the first Saturday in every month, at the Silver Springs Recreation Center in Henderson. And 100% of that goes to Paint for Kidneys when I work with them. And those sessions are more family oriented, right? Because they're at the rec center. So it was intentionally to build like bigger relationships with the city and everything, and get noticed for the nonprofit, and then to invite more, get more kids involved and families involved.
I was going to ask that because when you have these parties, is it for adults only, or can families come along with their little 5-year-old, 6-year-old kids, or is there an age limit? Or
kids 10 and up.
Kids 10 and up.
Kids 10 and up. And in the art center, it's a community art center. So yes, we will have events that's really focused around families. Like I'll have family night there, taco night. Just a lot of fun things are planned.
Okay.
But
so
the full calendar of events aren't up yet. Coffee and paint is another activity that I do sometimes too, where I just have coffee and donuts and tea. And so it's kind of hard to like zero it in, like when I have these events. They're kind of random. You kind of have to stay in tune on my website and see what's going on at the calendar of events. Because I also do private parties. So I'm mobile. I have a van, and I go to schools, and I go to churches, and I go to,
Well, I think when I looked at the website, you had these coffee and paint sections at the Silver Springs Recreation Center.
Yeah.
But now I'm hearing you're not limited to coffee and paint. It could be taco or pizza and
yes, it
wine.
Can be. At the rec center, it's pretty much coffee and paint.
Yes.
But you know, at the art center, there's all kind of activities. But at the rec center, it's pretty much coffee and paint. It's not all those different kinds of activities. So it's really fun because, like I said, I get introduced to a lot of different families from the community, and more kids are there. We paint paintings that are like simple. And all my paintings are pretty simple. I really want to stress that, because people are so intimidated about painting. And I try to make it as easy as possible by pre-tracing it, helping you along the way, encouraging you. And because I think that's why people stop painting or stop creating, because someone at some point criticized something they did, you know. So yeah, I really like painting at the rec center because I do get the families and the kids, and like we're painting a truck with with pumpkins in the back for fall, you know.
There you go. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's a cute concept. Now also you have virtual paint parties. Now, are these nationwide? Can people sign up from anywhere in the country?
That's the beauty of Zoom, right?
Yes.
So around our kidney we do different things around our transplant anniversary. Like our transplant anniversary, our 10-year, right? Was it 10? Not 10 year, 5 years.
Yeah.
5-year was August 7th. So we did an event at Nevada Donor Network, our first like big one there, and that was great. So in the past, like, as the years have gone, we've done virtual ones for our anniversary to raise money. So to answer your question, yes, people from all around the country could join in. So it was really great. So I for my for-profit business helps other nonprofits raise money for their organizations.
Okay. So. But now, how'd you get all the paintbrushes and the paints and the stencils?
We give them a supply list.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and we mail out tracers.
Okay.
And so you trace your canvas and you go to Walmart or Michael's and buy your supplies and meet us on Zoom. It's a beautiful thing.
A beautiful program.
Yeah.
Beautiful program. And then you also have a praise and paint program as well. So now, how often do you host those, and are they at your new center that you just opened up?
That is the one that I really want to focus on a lot at the new at the art center, because there's no alcohol involved in that. You know, it's praise and paint, so we'll have sparkling cider and play spiritual music, gospel music. We have a gratitude moment. We play tambourines. When's the last time you played a tambourine? Never. See, you got to come praise and paint. So that's a unique experience. Just the gratitude, just how we are just so authentically like grateful. Like I wear my Donate Life bracelet all the time, just as a reminder of like, this is such a blessing, you know?
Yes.
And so those events are something that's definitely going to take place on somewhat of a regular basis, like once a quarter or maybe even once a month at the Art Center. So it's just there's a lot of different concepts to try to capture everyone.
That sounds like a real great program too. Hold that thought. We're going to be right back. And we're just going to take another little sponsorship break where we'll be hearing from Pacific Coast Capital.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you to Pacific Coast Capital and the Firelight Bar for sponsoring us here, and thank you, Angelique and Will Daniels, for being our guests today. Paint for Kidneys, what a wonderful program, raising money, giving people fun and entertainment, and providing money for kidney transplants. Wonderful organization. So also on your website, I saw you where you had a little tag there, art as therapy. And would you like to talk a little bit about that? How can art be? Yeah. How therapeutic can it be?
So I've probably done over 500 paint parties, well over 500.
Wow.
And I've never had a paint party that ended poorly. Everyone always has a good time. And I really like when men come, because usually my primary demographic is women. And I feel like the men just get dragged along by the wives and they really don't want to do it. And I tell you, I've had so many men afterwards saying, thank you. That was great. In this busy world, when's the last time you actually sat down and turned off your phone and kept still for more than an hour? More than an hour. So with that being said, I was thinking there's more to this art than just, there's just more to it. So I started studying the neuroscience behind it, what actually happens when people engage in creative activities. And I was like so intrigued by it. And then I came across neurographic art, which was something that like an art form that was created by a Russian psychiatrist. And I started studying that, and it gave me a better understanding of what happens. So he has a very simple techniques to introduce people to art as a therapeutic form, as a coping strategy, as a healthy coping strategy. So I started studying that and took a little program, got a certificate and stuff. And I tried it out on Will. Because my husband here is not a big, I'm the artist, right? He's the guy that gets dragged to the party that I was telling you about. So we did like a one-on-one. And you want to talk about it, Will?
Yeah.
How I said it,
how did it work for you?
Well, I was hesitant. And I said, okay, obviously. And she said, no, let's just try it. And so we had an evening and said, okay, fine. And so she taught me how to, the process of putting it together. And what is amazing is that once you kind of get started, it's like your mind's like, okay, let me just do this. But then you kind of like start taking on, okay, fine, let me try this. And you start doing a couple of things. You say, okay, we'll do this now. And before you know it, your mind kind of drifts away from what you were thinking about before to kind of concentrate on that. And it's kind of like sets the mood differently. And so you get into a whole different aura. And it feels good. It actually does kind of change the.
Does what?
Yeah, it does. It kind of change. It kind of change. Yeah, exactly. You kind of paying attention to the art itself, and you kind of let everything else drown out. So it was nice, and it was enjoyable. So yeah.
Cool.
So he was in the zone. That's a sweet spot for creatives. We know that sweet spot that you get into, that Zen moment. And when I saw that, when he got into that state, I was like, yeah, this is good. And there's different steps of, I guide you along through the creative process. So I've been hired by mental health organizations and been involved in different conferences to do the neurographic art experience. And it's very therapeutic. You can fight it if you want to.
Well, if it really works, it won't become a fight. I hope.
Yes.
Now, if somebody wanted to have a paint party at your facility, what's the maximum number of attendees that can?
In my place, about 40.
Oh wow!
But I partner with other organizations. So for my now this kind of spills over into my profit area, but 10% of my profit, Paint with Angelique, goes to Paint for Kidneys. Okay. So 100% of my activities, that when I do them for Paint for Kidneys, they're 100% for Paint for Kidneys. When the event is promoted for Paint for Kidneys, when the event is promoted specifically for Paint for Kidneys, it goes to support the Community Arts Center, which supports the lease of the building and those free paint sessions that are available for people. I want to be very clear on that because I have two businesses, but they're all, anytime you paint with Angelique, it's going to benefit the organ and the transplant community anytime, because anytime you work with me, that's part of the mission. But I got to eat, right? So,
but now what if somebody wanted to have a fundraiser for an organization that's not necessarily the Nevada Donor Network? They might want it for American Cancer Society.
Absolutely,
or something like
you can
so
absolutely
if they want
call
to do
me.
that, how would that work? You would take percentages, presumably, for the property, the lease, and
so yeah, that's basically how it would work. And I have all different size canvases and things like that. I work with a lot of different nonprofit, for breast cancer, for what else? I've done lupus fundraisers. I've done so many fundraisers, especially too for churches. I can't even think of, but and we work together so that your organization makes money for your cause, and a small percentage, of course, that I'm for my business. But the best way to work that out is to set a one-on-one appointment with me, because every organization is different. It depends on what you're trying to achieve, right? And I've done them. The biggest party I've done was 160 people at a church.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, at a church. Yeah, I just need one volunteer. That's it. I just need one. I just need one volunteer. So yes.
Well, seeing as you say you just need one volunteer, that's going to be one of my questions. If people want to volunteer for Paint for Kidneys, what are the volunteer opportunities that you have, and do you have any specific qualifications?
Of course, I just tell everybody to reach out so we can have a one-on-one and set your intention. And I tell them what my intention is with Paint for Kidneys, what their intention is, why do they want to be connected. A lot of them have a heart connection from an organ donor, or they've been a donor or something like that. And, or they have a love for art. And then I can find the place for you. There's always a place for you. Yeah. If you want to volunteer, I have a place for you. So this last, at the art center, when we opened, the open house was just beautiful because some people just wanted to greet, some people wanted to be working with the food vendors, some people wanted to really talk about donate life and Paint for Kidneys and help me raise donations. Some people wanted the microphone. So I can find a place for you.
I think that's the story we get from most organizations. Anybody that wants to volunteer, no matter what, there's a space somewhere.
Even if you're not a people person, I can find a place for it.
Now, I'm assuming too, I think you alluded to it, that if people want to do fundraisers, or even if they want to have a party for friends, a birthday party or something, they need to speak to you one-on-one, because it's different rates depending on what the goal or the mission is.
Yeah.
Am I getting that correct?
Yes, what you're trying to accomplish. But like I said before, anytime you're dealing with me, whether it's on my nonprofit or my profit side, even my profit side, 10% is going back to Paint for Kidneys. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So anytime you work with me, you're supporting my nonprofit, whether you like, I don't want to say whether you like it or not, but whether you like it or not.
Well, seeing as you mentioned that, if people want to get involved with Paint for Kidneys, would you like to share with us how they can get in touch with you, your website, your telephone number, and I think you mentioned earlier that you have people text you. So
Yes.
would you like to share with our viewers?
So the best way to get in touch with me is to go to my website, paintwithangeliquelv.com, paintwithangeliquelv.com. You will find a tab for Paint for Kidneys. You can donate there. You can also on my website send me a message. I do have an 800 number. It's 1-800-301-6815. That's if you want to speak with me directly. And I really, really love if you text me because, we can't always answer the phone these days. And that's 702-271-3151. You can text the word paint, or you can text the word Paint for Kidneys, and we can start a conversation about what you need.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, I'd really like to thank you both for coming and spending time with us today, sharing us about your mission, sharing about what prompted this. And it was your misfortune that started off, but a legacy that you're leaving and creating here. So thank you both, Angelique and Will, for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd certainly like to thank our show's producer, John Stiles, station owner and producer of this program. Appreciate his constant support. As I mentioned, no organization or this program certainly couldn't be run without its sponsors. We'd like to thank Pacific Coast Capital, the Firelight Barn, and my business partner, RJ Champion. You'll hear his message right at the end of this program. And finally, last but not least, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for tuning in and watching. I hope you enjoyed this program today. I hope you'll reach out for Paint for Kidneys and enjoy a paint party. It sounds like a lot of fun. I might even try it myself. If you have any questions or comments, please reach out to me at stephen@thegiftofgiving.vegas. I'd love to hear from you. In the meantime, I hope you will join us again next week. Stay safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.